EFL have told Bolton Wanderers to fulfil their two remaining fixtures. I'm not quite sure the EFL quite realise the magnitude of what they're demanding, because the players are not only on strike for themselves, they're on strike for their coaching staff, they're on strike for their non-coaching and non-playing staff in the club, from the club shop, 16-year-olds on part-time contracts, through to the catering managers and the catering staff, the ground staff, the ticket sales staff, the office staff. Every member of staff at Bolton is not guaranteed wages on Tuesday. Some staff still haven't been paid from March, alongside the players and coaching staff as well if they're on part-time contracts. That's why the players are on strike. I feel sorry for the fans of both Bolton and Brentford, who obviously were expecting to go to a game today, and they've been told the game is off, especially those Brentford fans who've travelled up the night before to Greater Manchester to get to Bolton, stay in a hotel or B&B so they can be ready for the game. I feel most sorry for them for travelling so far for nothing. Now, I've already covered the fact that the London Broncos have contacted Brentford FC and said season ticket holders and those fans who bought the away allocation of tickets are welcome to come down Trail Finders with their tickets, pay a £5 entrance fee, and they can watch a rugby league game in the Super League this weekend. That is a touching gesture and a creditable gesture by the London Broncos, reaching out to fans who've been let down by this. How Bolton are going to solve this, I don't know. The takeover bid is dragging on longer than it should, and that's partly down to the EFL. The EFL cleared Ken Anderson under the fit and proper persons test, which is laughable. The EFL and PFA have been fully aware of the financial issues at Bolton all season. To be fair, it's been going on now for over a year. So they were fully aware that there were financial issues going forward. I don't know where we go from here. The EFL seems to be out of touch with basic realities. I'm surprised all the Bolton staff haven't gone on strike with not getting paid, because this shouldn't happen. There's enough money in football from the TV deals that have been signed, hundreds of millions, if not billions of pounds floating around. How can they just not cover the staff wages until the end of the season at least? It's not acceptable. But the EFL, being the chronically badly organised organisation that it is, the not fit for purpose organisation that it is, are demanding that Bolton players play. Would you go to work for nothing? Not just for the odd weekend, play for free for whatever reason, but for months on end, be willing to work for nothing? No, because it's illegal. So even though at the top level football players are massively overpaid, when it comes to lower levels, they're really not. I completely agree with the Bolton players' strike. They're doing it for the right reasons, not for their own greed, for the basic principle that it's illegal to work for nothing. It's illegal to work and not get paid. It's against the law. It's not just them they're striking for, it's the club staff, from that 16-year-old in the club shop on a part-time contract who's not got paid for 2 months, to the coaching staff who've not got paid for a month, to the ticket office, the receptionists. They're all going unpaid or not being guaranteed their wages for another month. That's why they're on strike. And the EFL have the cheek to say, you have to play your games. You have to fulfil our fixture list. The thing is, if you paid the players and stepped up to the plate and released some funds, they would. If you paid the club staff by releasing some funds, they would. You haven't released those funds, so they won't. I agree with the players on this. I think actually, to be fair, all club staff at Bolton, and in fact every club in the EFL, should go on strike to get the message across, because the EFL is not fit for purpose. The FA, not fit for purpose. That's as close to a rant as you're going to get from me. But honestly, the situation, it was avoidable. Enforce the fit and proper persons test, we wouldn't be in this situation. We're not just Bolton, but about 40 clubs in the Football League wouldn't be in this situation, because there are others that are on the verge of having financial difficulties of the scale of Bolton's in the next couple of years. And the EFL, You can. Oh wait, you've been to prison. Yeah, you can own a football club. You've got convictions for fraud. You can have a football club. You're a registered sex offender, Mr. Oyston. Yeah, you can have a football club. That's the EFL. Anyone can own a football club. Anyone. It seems under EFL rules, the fit and proper persons test is an absolute joke. But I'm going to leave that there before this descends into me swearing for the next 5 minutes, because we don't want to do that, because that does no one any favours, and YouTube will probably block the video. But it just sums up the situation in the Football League. It sums up the governance of the sport in the UK being not fit for purpose, north or south of the border, and it just sums up the situation. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. If you are a football fan of any club, place your thoughts below. If you're a Bolton fan especially, I want to hear how you feel about this. Do you think do you support the players in their strike action? Because I do, and I'm not a Bolton fan. So I want to hear from Bolton fans. But as a Blackburn fan, I want to see Bolton survive. Because guess what? You're rivals, and without rivalry, your sport's nothing. Sport is nothing without rivalries. Rivalries is what puts bums on seats and makes it fun to watch. This is why I like Blackburn Burnley games in football. This is why I like Wigan St Helens in rugby league, or the Roosters and the Rabbitohs in the NRL. This is why I like watching, the NHL with Boston, Toronto, or Montreal and Toronto games in the NHL. This is why I like watching the sports that I like. It's because there's rivalry there, and it's heated rivalry. But at the end of the day, without those rivalries, you don't have anything, and without the clubs. And without the players getting paid, you don't have games. And this should not be happening in 2019 with the amount of money in football. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. And I look forward to seeing your comments on this. And I'll have some more videos for you very soon.